in this moment here, we're going to get to a point. He's got Germans are in a dike. They're just ahead of 18 platoon, and 18 platoon is kind of pinned down. And remember this character from earlier, Dennis Clark. Dennis Clark was the guy that pulled him aside and said, hey, you need to take command of this company. Well, like I said, Dennis Clark, or I thought I'd remembered, and I was right. Dennis Clark was an artillery guy that called in artillery. So here we go. Back to the book. I was saved by Captain Dennis Clark, MC, our tame gunner. Dennis had a virtuoso touch where 25-pounders were concerned. Sniping with one gun, that should get the buggers out, he said with total confidence. Moving his 19 set into my, that's a radio, moving his 19 set into my platoon position, no easy task in daylight, he gave us a display of the most brilliant professionalism we had come to expect from the 94th Field Regiment. By firing with only one gun and making his mean point of impact beyond the dike containing the Germans, he slowly decreased the range, yard by yard, until one shell exploded in the dike. Out came 5 very wet and shaken Panzer Grenadiers. During this episode, all the platoon had to remain in the bottom of their slit trenches because Dennis's shells came over our positions with minimum clearance. I doubt if any experienced infantry officer would deny that the Royal Artillery during the Second World War were the most professionally competent people in the British Army. So again, an interesting dichotomy, because in the beginning he talks about how the artillery can trap them because it's being used in this broad plan that's locking in where there's no deviation. But here he's talking about how brilliant it is because he's directly coordinating with it. He's explaining to the artillery officer where to put those rounds, what the problem is, and then letting the artillery officer solve it. So there's a dichotomy there, just like there's a dichotomy with the snipers.